I'm Rob and this is Gems of War. This is the Strange Magic World event, but I'll be showing the Soulforge review info just ever so quickly first because I've already uploaded one video today on the new heroic gem which are called wildcards. They're really interesting and they will be falling in this battle, so I'll explain what they do ever so briefly and then you can check out the wildcards video later on just to get a full rundown on what they're all about and why they're important. So just ever so quickly, in the Soulforge, there's not too much new stuff in here today. Trick Entry is very good. It inflicts all negative status effects on an enemy and grants myself all the positive status effects. So this is effectively Essence of Evil and Reflection of Good all rolled into one. Pretty decent. These other ones we've gone over before, so you can check them out on other Soulforge reviews if you need to. These ones here gain 32 armor and barrier a random ally for every demon ally. These are all, that one's nothing special. A Doomed Mask, give life to all allies, +2 per tempering level, and give 5 mana to all other allies. And if the enemy has a Doom, give 4 more mana. Give 2 magic to all allies for each blue enemy. So a lot to take in there, but basically with these doomed weapons, most of the doomed weapons are much better if the second effect of it is to create skulls. Basically, if you've got someone with a doomed weapon on the other side, that is give life to someone or whatever, or deal damage and then create a load of skulls, that is going to obliterate you because it's going to kill you far more than that amount of life you're going to give to you or your allies. So more completist, that one, wouldn't really bother with it unless you just need it and you've got like tons of diamonds to spare. Crystal Point, another one of these ones where you deal a certain amount of damage to an enemy boosted by allies from a certain kingdom, and then you create a mix of colours for each ally from that kingdom. I don't like these ones very much. They're not particularly reliable so far, and the other ones are there all the time apart from Nature Sword. 35 damage to an enemy and deal triple damage if they use brown mana. Meh. So what? Nothing much there today. These troops are there all the time, so we'll just bypass them ever so quickly. And just ever so quick rundown on the mythics first. Zalma deals scatter damage boosted by a chosen colour but not yellow, and then creates 10 yellow gems and remove all gems of the chosen colour. It's not bad. It's a mid-range mythic, I would say. The third trait being the really good one, and the second one's pretty good as well because you can be getting a lot of yellow, which is what you want for that mythic. Lord of Slaughter, very good. One of the better ones. It creates 6 brown gems, then converts all brown gems to Doom Skulls. Inflicts 1 to 2 bleeds and 1 to 2 death marks on random enemies. So that is really good, especially when you get that third trait. 100% chance to ignore armor with skull damage, effectively making him true damage. So get him with a skull spam team and you can devastate the opponent super quickly, and he's really good. Definitely worth getting. Umanath. I've got this one. It sounds really good on paper. Deals damage to an enemy boosted by all of their skills, and if the enemy dies, create 10 attack and create 12 skulls. But the amount of times I've cast this and those 12 skulls have somehow missed and set up the opponent is unreal. So for that reason, I do not use that one that much. The third trait is good though. Gain 4 attack when matching 4 or more gems. It's okay, but again, nothing fantastic. Any more? Arachnian Weaver is absolutely superb, and it's half price compared to the other ones still. If you haven't got Arachnian Weaver, if you've got the gems, just get it right now. Absolutely fantastic mythic troop, one of the best in the game. Webs all enemies, deals true damage to the last 2 enemies, and if the enemy dies, explode 15 gems. Its traits are fantastic too. Stealthy, cannot be targeted by spells. Impervious, immune to all status effects, Devour, Lycanthropy and Mana Burn. And fantastic third trait, 75% chance to summon a web spinner when an enemy dies is really good. I've got 2 of these already and I am so tempted to get a third one because I just want to see how awesome it would be with 3 of these in a team with something like King Avalon or something like that, so they all start on half mana. I think that'd be quite awesome. Doomclaw sounds good, but it's not as good as it would appear, like deals damage to an enemy boosted by enraged allies, and separate 25% chances to devour the next enemy above and below. So you are relying a lot on luck with that one. And yeah, I don't think he's actually that great myself. And of the legendaries, Bone Dragon's good. I generally don't recommend crafting legendaries because they pop up quite regular in normal chests, so just wait for them to pop up there unless you're really desperate. Bone Dragon used to be feared a few years ago. Now no one hardly ever uses him. Eliminates 25 armor from an enemy, then creates 9 skulls boosted by the armor eliminated and gains a certain amount of armor back. Used to be scary, but not so much anymore, so just wait for him to pop up. Same as Artima. Explode a row, 36 damage to the 2 weakest enemies in my case, boosted by centaurs. Meh. Bloodhammer, one of the better ones here. Deals a lot of damage to the 2 strongest enemies and transforms all blue gems to doom skulls to boost the damage. Very good. Probably the only one out of them worth considering crafting out of the legendary side of things. Smash Mouth's actually quite good as well. Deals quite a bit of damage to an enemy and knocks them to the back. Drains 7 mana from all enemies below them and gains an extra turn. So only 14 to charge as well. Like I've had that before where you get a bit lucky with the gem drops and you're actually able to drain mana consistently from enemies as well as keep knocking them to the back, which is quite good. But I really like that third trait, bleed and silence the first enemy when I deal skull damage, because when you knock someone to the back, all of a sudden the one at the front is the one you're going to silence and bleed at the same time. So he's good too. So that's the super quick review there. Now let's go to the event, which is Strange Magic. Right, I've set this up already. I've had one fight earlier, and the team I'm going to be using for this, actually we'll go to the shop first. I always recommend getting the first tier at least, because you get the potion of enchantment, which is really good. So everybody starts off enchanted, so we get charged up really quickly, and you get extra troops and little few bits and bobs as well, so it's quite nice. All right, I've just gone for an interesting team here. I've not put a ton of thought into it. Gone for 2 times Crystal Axe, because in my case they do a lot of damage and remove all gems of a chosen colour, and they're going to basically wipe out the entire opposition team straight away for quite a few of the first matches. And we gain enchant when matching purple gems, which means even if we use them the first time, as soon as we match purple, which we will do because we're going to be using these 2 as well, they get enchant back. Gone for life and death. Everybody knows about that. Steals life from the last 2 enemies and death marks them, then bless myself. And I'm on thief right now just because I haven't got it to 100, but it's quite handy because you get a fast start with 50% mana and you deal 7 damage to the last enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. I've chosen Moon Phoenix because it's the new troop that appeared today, and I just want to see the wild cards. In my case, this one deals 50 scatter damage boosted by wild cards and purple enemies, and if the enemy dies, create 4 times 2 wild cards. The traits, nothing fantastic. The middle one's interesting. 25% chance to create a times 2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems. Now I've slowed the game speed down to times 3 at the moment, because I did have a wild card appear earlier in the very first battle of this, and it came and went so quickly, didn't have a chance to actually look at it properly, if you know what I mean, and see what it actually done. But basically what a wild card would do, if a wild card dropped down and appeared where this green one was, it will transform excuse me, these to red. And if it was, say, a times 3 wild card, that would become 9 mana rather than the usual 3, and you can't get a surge off of them either. So that's how they work. For example, if one dropped down, say these 2 green ones weren't here, and a wild card dropped to where this brown one is, that was times 2, you would get 6 mana from these instead of the usual 3. So that's how they work, and let's just get this going and see what happens.
Mana surge.
Like I said, I didn't plan this as a particular super quick team or anything. Just want to see what these wild cards do, really. Seems really, really weird playing this in ×3 now. Right, next one. I might hold back on casting Crystanax because I want to cast Moon Phoenix and take a look at the wild cards. Yeah, because you have to kill one of them first, which we will be doing. Right, let's cast this anyway, and let's get this first. Right, now we're going to deal scatter damage boosted by wild cards, which aren't any yet, and purple enemies. Right, so that obviously didn't create any wild cards because there's none there. Ah, because nobody died. I see. Yeah, so you only get the, yeah, didn't pay attention to that. If an enemy dies, create 4 times 4 times 2 wild cards. Right, so let's kill 2 of them. Let's see, right. Yeah, see. That wild magic as well is interesting. 25% chance to create a ×2 wild card when matching 4 or more gems. Right, so there's quite a few bits to remember.
Mana surge.
The important part is, like, not somebody dying, like, they have to kill them. It's not like life and death killed those last 2, so you get a chance to create them. It has to be from, sounds obvious, but it has to be from this spell from this troop. So we'll just do anything to wipe them out for now. Yeah, the new mythic coming at the end of the campaign as well. Sounds interesting. That's going to create a bunch of wild cards. Really want to see how these work, because if they don't land properly when you cast them, you're going to really set up the opposition in a big way. But I'm sure they've been tested. Alright, so let's see if we can... there's one dropped there, look, a ×2 one, but we didn't get a chance to use it. When the enemy gets a little bit more powerful, we'll be able to take a look at them at the wild cards a little bit better. Comes Luthor to tell us all about it. This gem can be matched with any mana gem if it will multiply mana gained from the gem match. Multiple wild cards gems add their multipliers together. It cannot cause a mana surge. So what that means is, if, for example, a ×3 wild card dropped there as well. Actually, that's a confusing one because that's going to do 2 things either side. Let's say one was there instead, where that blue one is. Say we had a ×3 wildcard drop there. Rather than ×2 on that yellow one now, that becomes ×5, because we'd have the ×3 from this one and the ×2 from this one. So that will now give ×5 yellow, which would mean 15 yellow. Yeah, let's just let them get a kill, and it created a couple there. That's the thing, you see, unless they line up, unless you get another colour either side of them, that's not going to do anything. Well, not for you anyway. It may be helpful to the opponent. Alright, I'm looking forward to these enemies getting a little bit more powerful.
Mana surge.
Right, just go and grab me campaign reward thing quickly. I really hate this bit, honestly. It seems right faff having to keep going backwards or forwards and collecting something after, like, sometimes just a few seconds sometimes. Then go back to the event where you were. But maybe I'm just impatient.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
Getting these enemies rolled over quickly, so we can get to the more powerful ones and hopefully get a better look at the wild cards. Oh, that was interesting. So they charged them up again right away then. I did just get another campaign thing. God. Sometimes when I can't be bothered to do these things, I'll just press re-roll. And most of the time it changes to kill an enemy of a certain colour. But it didn't on that one. And I can't be bothered. I'm going to waste 50 gems because I just can't stand the hassle of this going backwards and forwards all the time. Kill elves, can't be bothered. Re-roll that. Come on, just do a... Oh, that would do, but I'll do that in a minute. Right, let's carry on doing this. You're not going to con me out of my gems, you cheeky mongrels.
Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge. Mana surge.
Just sort them out quickly.
Mana surge.
Come on, I want the level to increase. I want longer battles so I can see these wild cards.
Mana surge.
Makes you wonder how much more they can add to the game before it becomes almost not broken, but hard to balance. If you know what I mean? It's like there's so many different things to it now. It's kind of crazy. I mean, can you imagine a newcomer coming to this game right now? Wow. Head explosion. I thought I was getting just a basic match 3 gem game. Ho, 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 ho. You're about to get your mind melted.
Mana surge.
Right, I'm going to let that thing, Moon Phoenix, get charged up because I want to see
Mana surge.
it cast a spell, and hopefully it won't kill him. I know it's got to kill them to create the thing, the wild cards.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
Interesting. Yeah, just thinking about this on the fly, like the fact that it only creates the wild cards when an enemy dies. Because it's scatter damage like that, you're not going to be actually creating those cards that often. Not really. Like here, because one's left behind, I can match that now, even though I don't actually need it. Should this give me 6 mana? But there is a danger, like I was saying earlier, that you can set up the opponent quite easily, because even though you only generate those wild cards when somebody dies on your opposition, unless you've got an extra turn with that somehow by a lucky gem match, then you may be giving the opposition a chance to charge up automatically, because if they get any sort of match with that wild card, they will get the mana because it covers all mana colours, providing it matches the one that they've got, they will get mana from it. Right, see if I can maim them two first, and then it wasn't anywhere near killing them. So this is more an experimental video than anything. It's not like supposed to be a serious way of doing this event really quickly. I'm more taking a look at those wild cards if I can, and how we're going to use them in the future. But they will be gone at the end of this campaign. They won't drop like they are now randomly, but basically any weapon or troop that uses wild card, like this one or the new mythic, that will benefit. And you will still be able to get the wild cards from them. See, without that killing people, that's not that great a spell.
Mana surge.
You certainly want to kill people first, or not kill them, maim them quite a lot first before casting this.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
Right, see if this takes out the bottom one now. No, it didn't.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
See, there's one there, but it's like I was saying earlier, if you do that, that won't give a mana surge, but it should give 12. You can get 4 match times 3. So what we should be seeing here now is 8 go onto the first Crystanax, then 4 on the bottom one if I'm right. But we want to 6 because of the either enchant or bonuses. So that was what I expected. Well, I'll just do a couple more, otherwise this video will be shockingly long. So I did do a quick rundown of those wild cards and what they're about in the previous video to this. I'll put a link in the description below. It's only short, it's only like literally 3.5 minutes I think. Just literally a quick rundown on what the new wild cards do, and a ever so quick brief look at the new mythic, which is a bit of a throwback to the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from a little while ago, if you remember that, with Venger and Tiamat. Definitely a homage to that is the new mythic. Used to love that cartoon as a kid. I've actually got the box set of Dungeons and Dragons, that cartoon, on DVD, but never got round to watching it all the way through yet, bizarrely. And that's going to encourage me to do that, because I did love that cartoon. Right. No, this is going to kill them all outright. No, it's not. One survived because of submerge. It still happened a bit too quickly to see what happened there with those Just going to do this for the sake of it. Yeah, that would have gained 6 if we had anybody that used red. I've got one here. It's more looking to see how often you can actually get to use one. And so far it is actually quite often. Like that'll give us 6 green. So tactically, I'm not quite sure yet how they're going to affect the game too much. Won't know for sure until that new mythic is available at the end of this campaign. Then we get to take a look at it properly. I've got the upgraded pass thing, whatever it was called, so I will have that mythic, so I will do a video on how to get the most out of that when it's released. So many gem types now, like with this lycanthropy and now these wild cards and potions, doom skulls and uber doom skulls. It's like, what will they think of next? Not going to cast that.
Mana surge.
Oh. Saw that ever so briefly as matching a 4 match for me, not the other way around. But it's not too important at this early stage. You've only got to pay attention to that in a bit more detail a little bit later on. Alright, we've got one last sigil to use up. Let's get going on the old life and death.
Mana surge.
So ordinarily with a Tristan axe, especially in a proper game if you like, you should pay attention to which one you remove, which gem you remove, because you can get a 3 or 4 match from it if you look at it closely enough and make sure you're doing the right move. There's quite a few brown there, so if we remove brown we're going to get at least a 3 match on that one, on the blue there, and that ended up charging us up completely. To have another go. And like if you move green, we've got yellow anyway on the moon what's it, but if we weren't enchanted then that would have charged us up again. Yeah, so the wild cards do appear quite regular when you kill somebody with that, but it's whether they're in a good place or not, which is the main thing. Yes, it's guaranteed. If an enemy dies, create 4 times 2 wild cards. Right, so there's a video, a bit of a mixture of the Soulforge and taking a look at wild cards and this new troop and this this strange magic event. But there it is. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button, because it really does help. And most of all, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye for now.